You wake up on 2 mornings that look identical. Same alarm. Same ceiling. Same messages waiting. But on the second morning, something inside you doesn't fully arrive. You sit on the edge of the bed and it feels like you're putting on your life the way you put on clothes, by habit, by necessity, without warmth. Your body moves. Your mind functions. And still, a quiet thought hangs there: I don't want to do this again. If you're tired of existing right now, it doesn't automatically mean there's something wrong with you. It can mean you're saturated, carrying more stimulation, pressure, and urgency than a human being was meant to carry day after day. This is civilizational fatigue, the kind that makes your inner life dim while you keep functioning. Most days it doesn't look like collapse. It looks like you're still showing up. You answer the messages. You do the work. You keep the social face. But somewhere inside that competence, you feel a strange absence, like your presence has become optional. You tell yourself you just need rest. A weekend. A pause. And yes, rest matters. But what you're feeling has a pattern. It follows the architecture of modern life: fragments, interruptions, invisible standards, a constant sense that you should already be ahead. So the cycle begins before you even stand up. Your hand reaches for the screen, not because you're excited, but because you need to know what's coming. A quick check becomes a flood: headlines, texts, reminders, someone else's life. Your brain is negotiating the world while your body is still trying to wake. You feel the smallest tightening in your chest, like bracing. Then you step into motion, and the motion never stops. Commute. Tasks. Notifications. Small decisions stacking until you're carrying a whole day by 10 a.m. You open your laptop and there is already too much waiting. Not just on the screen, inside you. Unfinished conversations. Pending replies. The thing you forgot. The thing you're scared of. The thing you should be doing instead. You try to focus, but your attention keeps getting pulled sideways. A ping. A banner. A message that seems minor but demands a slice of you. Your mind learns a new posture, half here, half elsewhere. Over time, that posture becomes normal. And when half here becomes normal, everything starts to feel less real. This is one of the quiet ways an era breaks people: it trains you to live in partial presence. You're always about to respond. Always about to catch up. Always about to become the version of yourself that finally feels stable. The present becomes a hallway you pass through on the way to a future that never quite arrives. No wonder you feel tired of existing. Existing is supposed to include being here. Instead, you're managing. Managing mood. Managing perception. Managing the pace. You learn to say, "I'm fine," in a tone that doesn't invite questions, because questions take time, and time feels scarce. There's a small grief in that. Quiet, private. Because fine can become a costume you forget you're wearing, until you notice how hard it is to take off. And the world around you keeps amplifying the strain. It rewards speed, not depth. Output, not reflection. It keeps your attention moving because attention is valuable, because it sells things and fuels status. Nothing has to be evil. It just has to be incentivized. So your day becomes a stream of micro-urgencies. None of them feel dramatic, yet together they keep your body in a low-grade alert. You can feel it in the jaw tension. The hovering shoulders. The way silence makes you reach for something. You can feel it in how little pleasure sticks. You watch a show and it's fine. You listen to music you used to love and it sounds distant. You meet friends and you're present, technically, but you're still tracking time, still thinking about what comes after, still feeling the itch to check. You're tired. You keep going. That's the quiet collapse, not falling apart in public, but slowly losing contact with the inside of your own life. By afternoon your mind is full of inputs that were never meant to be held all at once. News that keeps you tense. Comparisons that quietly make you feel behind. Work demands that expand to fill every corner you leave unguarded. The pressure to be reachable, to be agreeable, to be efficient. And beneath all of it, the deeper pressure, to make your life look like it means something. Because modern culture doesn't only demand that you survive. It demands that you prove you're thriving. Progress. Milestones. The sense that you're becoming someone worth noticing. Even if you never post, you still absorb the standard. You still feel the measuring stick. So when you can't feel joy, you blame yourself. When you can't feel motivation, you blame yourself. When you feel numb, you assume it's a flaw. But numbness is often defense. A system conserving energy under constant load. A soul pulling inward because the world keeps pulling outward. You're not broken, you're reacting. If this has a recognizable shape in your day, leave it in the comments, one honest line about where the exhaustion shows up first. Sometimes naming it is the first moment it stops feeling like a private defect. The spiritual quality of this fatigue comes from what it steals, the sense that your life belongs to you. You can get through the day and still feel like you were rented out. You can do everything right and still feel like something essential went missing. That missing thing is presence. Presence isn't a luxury. It's the feeling of inhabiting your own moments. And it's hard to inhabit anything when your attention is constantly being extracted, by screens, by expectations, by a pace that treats human limits as inconveniences. So you begin to disappear from yourself in small ways. You eat without tasting. You talk without listening fully. You work without caring. You rest without resting. You keep moving, because stopping would mean you might finally feel how tired you really are. And the world offers you coping that keeps you functional. Caffeine, distraction, advice, routines. But if they're used to keep you from ever slowing down enough to feel, they become another layer of the same problem, more management, more pressure, more self-surveillance. That's why the tiredness starts to feel existential. You sense, even if you can't fully articulate it, that you're being asked to live in a way that flattens the human spirit. Faster. Louder. More visible. Always improving. And the soul, when it's treated like a machine, starts to shut down. It doesn't shut down because it's weak. It shuts down because it's protecting what's left. So what changes things? Not a grand exit. Not a dramatic reinvention. Not a speech. A small return of agency, where attention becomes yours again, even for a minute. It can start with something almost stupidly simple, choosing one moment of your day that isn't optimized. One moment that isn't for anyone else. One moment that isn't spent preparing for the next moment. Just a moment you live from the inside. Maybe it's on the way home, standing in a crowded metro car. Everyone is staring down. Everyone is elsewhere. The train rocks and the air smells like metal and tiredness. Your phone vibrates in your pocket, another message, another hook. You don't open it. You let the vibration fade like a wave you don't have to answer. You notice the sound of the train, steady, indifferent. You notice your breathing, shallow at first, then a little deeper. You're still alive. You're still here. That doesn't fix the world. It doesn't erase the pressure. But it interrupts the spell that says you must always be available to the next thing, or you don't deserve to exist. The train slows. The doors open. People flow out onto the platform. You step forward with them, and for a second you feel the ground under your feet as if it's the first time today. Then you keep walking, not with inspiration, not with a new identity, just with one reclaimed inch of attention. That inch is yours. And it matters.